Welcome to episode 19 of the Morris InterVarsity Podcast. InterVarsity is an international college campus Christian ministry, and our goal is to spread the good news of Jesus Christ. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed the episode.
I mean, you are a teacher now, right?
Actually, kind of. Yeah. Teacher in worship, you mean? Or teacher in...
Well, like teacher in general.
Teacher in general?
I mean, you're clearly in your word. You know, you're going to be a teacher, so I think that goes hand in hand.
I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun, hopefully. Hopefully the curriculum isn't too sketchy. But
So do you want to be like a public school teacher or private school?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I honestly, at first I was like, I want to be a private Christian school teacher, but I don't know. The more I think about it, it's like, why, I don't know, if the school is such a dark place and that's why I'm kind of straying from it, aren't we called to then go into that place and be that light,
True.
That's the issue, is it's like, I don't want to go there because it's a dark place, and I know it's going to be challenging, but I do have this gift and this Holy Spirit inside of me, so why don't I use that and go into that environment? So that's kind of where I don't know. I was leaning towards private, but now I'm kind of leaning towards public.
Okay.
But we'll kind of see. I don't really know where I'm planning on going either after college. I either want to stay like around central Minnesota area or go down south. So.
Ooh, south where?
Like
southern states? Oh, okay. Where?
Yeah, like Florida, South Carolina, Georgia area. Either of those three, probably. But I think what it calls for is a lot of research in the different kind of schools that are down there and just digging into a lot of different stuff. The area, I think it'll take a lot of work to go down south because I'm just familiar with it up here. But, it's kind of a big step. Like, you're just kind of jumping in somewhere that you've never been in. I don't know. But we'll see. It'll take a lot of prayer and, I'll figure it out, though.
You will.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, with the whole, job search thing. I guess, Christians, a lot of Christians tend to want to be in, a comfortable space with other Christians, which is fine. I think there's a time and place for that, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, for sure.
We definitely actually, as Christians, need to get out into the dark places, into the places where people actually need help and need a light, So we should all definitely think about actually going out and being uncomfortable, because we're not called to be comfortable in this life as a Christian. So
and the example of Jesus sitting and eating with sinners and tax collectors, it's a perfect example of it's okay to do that, and we're actually called to do that. Lead sinners to repentance is kind of what we're called to do. So I don't know. We'll see, though. But if all the Christian teachers leave the public school system, I mean, what would that look like? That would look even worse then. We don't want that.
Because people nowadays are things are getting bad. I'm just gonna kind of step away. It's too hard. I'm just gonna go in my little bubble. But it's
go where I know there are little kids that are kind of already believing and taking that step. And it's just kind of a lot to think about. And I also kind of want to be a track coach too.
Okay.
So I don't know what the private school kind of athletic system looks like, but I think that'd be a lot easier to do in a public school system for me, I think.
Maybe.
I don't know if they have sports in private school. Ava, you have to let me know. But
grade school.
Yeah.
Or, so you'd be elementary.
I'd be a kindergarten teacher, but I'd want to be coaching at probably a middle school or high school level.
Okay. So they do. Well, I used to go to private school. So.
Okay, perfect.
So I went to a K-8 Lutheran school.
Okay.
So we actually had. We had sports.
Okay.
We competed with other.
Was it other private?
Other Lutheran schools, actually, in the Kansas, Missouri. Actually, we would travel to like Iowa for like basketball tournaments. I believe Iowa. Like we would actually like kind of go out to other states, like if there was like tournaments
cool.
or like things like that. So,
okay, so you guys were pretty legit, it sounds like.
Yeah. So yeah, we had like track, basketball, soccer, everything. So actually the nice thing about like private schools, at least like private Lutheran schools in the KC area, you can like actually start sports a little earlier, like 4th, 5th grade. You can like join track and like already get involved and
cool.
all that stuff. So
yeah, that is definitely earlier than the public school.
And actually we did compete against a couple of public schools, I think, just because like we would go to like these rural track meets like in these places, and like the only schools out there were kind of like public schools or whatever. So I think we did compete against public schools sometimes. But
what did you do in track?
So I was in like before I went to high school, so like middle school, I was doing long distance. So I'd run like the mile or the 800.
Wow.
And then I actually did high jump. So
how'd that go?
It went pretty well. Like, I don't know. It like the competition wasn't crazy, so I would do like pretty okay. Like I would place. I remember like one time, I don't know, I got like second in the 800.
You got up over that high jump. That bar is so high.
I was also a lot shorter. I was like,
that's true.
I mean, I'm not that tall now,
but wait, 800, you got like second place?
I got like second place in a race one time or something. So
that's pretty cool.
And then in high school I ran cross country.
Okay.
So I did the 5K, did track. So I ran like the 2 mile 800. And then I also swam my senior year.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, but
didn't want to continue any of that here?
Not that I didn't want to. It's just like the first year and a half I wasn't actually on campus. And then like now I'm just trying to kind of focus on
finishing stuff.
Yeah, like actually finishing out school. So
that
no, I do actually like miss kind of like the athletic grind, I would say. Like running's not like this super fun thing to do, but it's like it's hard work and it's rewarding. I'll say it's rewarding. Like if you like do like high intensity cardio, I'd say it's like rewarding, you know. So because it's just good work. So yeah, but
yep.
So, I'm not who I used to be. I'm washed up now. So.
I still see you in the gym, you know.
Yeah,
still trying.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back into it. Last semester I say I was like locked in, but
oh really?
Not like fully, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
Right, like doing the podcast stuff, you know, doing IV stuff. I don't know. I definitely like wasn't in the gym that much last semester, so I'm trying to like actually get on a better routine now. I feel like my schedule's a lot better because
that's good.
I'm trying to like get up in the morning and do it. You know, I don't want to like I want to have like free time in the afternoon. So
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to get back into it. I mean, it's supposed to be my last semester, so as long as my teachers don't fail me, or as long as I actually do my homework, then I should.
I was
graduate.
gonna say like it's their fault.
Well, it could be.
Yeah.
If I like do all my work and somebody fails me, is that my fault? Like if I do like good work.
Okay, well, no, but that doesn't really happen.
Are you sure? Maybe not to you.
Yeah, I guess not to me, thankfully.
Yeah.
Hopefully never will, I guess, but.
Yeah, I hope not. So pray that like my teachers don't fail me this semester.
Yeah.
And pray that I actually like do my work.
I'll pray for them. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, pray that they don't have any like personal agenda against me.
No, yeah, I get that. I've had that happen. It's like my first time last semester when I had my literary studies teacher kind of, I think, had a little bit of a personal agenda situation. And me and Ava actually went and talked to her about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We actually like took it seriously, and she wasn't in my class or anything. She just needed her for some support because I was like, I know I need to talk to my teacher, but like it was just kind of a scary thing. And yeah, anyway, so Ava came with, and it's not fun when you have to like have that conversation and then also like worry about them grading you differently, you know. It's like, oh, you know, are they gonna grade me honestly, or are they going to grade me now because I did speak up and question their motives and agenda in the course?
Yeah,
and, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if she graded me fairly, but I think I definitely deserved a higher grade in that class, but it's fine. We'll
you passed, right?
I did.
Oh.
I think I got like a B minus. I think a B.
Like you should have gotten an A.
But I should have gotten an A. In high school, I don't know about you, but like I always would get like an A minus on papers max. Like that was like literally, I could just expect that at that point. And then I get here and like actually it had been the same for my WLA class, but then this I was like, I'm sorry, B, C on a paper? Like I went to the writing center before this and like actually tried. Like a little bit questionable in my opinion, but it's fine. The course is over. There's obviously no hard feelings on my end, so we're just gonna forget about that, I guess.
Did you have like a 4.0 or?
Oh no, absolutely. With biology, no, definitely not.
Yeah.
I think I have like a 3.3 right now, so no, that was not the concern at all. But
better than me.
well,
For real.
Yeah, OChem really just tanked the GPA, but
As long as I graduate.
Yeah, I agree. Me too.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Oh, you will. You will.
Yeah.
I mean, you were riled up over like C's and B's. Like, if I
My
get that,
bad.
hey, it's passing.
Yeah, I get it. That's true, but
Do you think it was like some spiritual, like some like spiritual tension, like
between what?
like you and this teacher, or?
Yeah, it's interesting because she claimed she actually teaches, I think, a Bible and lit course.
Okay.
And she was
so
like,
I know who you're talking about now. I think like okay.
I know. I just don't know if it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think she kind of had some previous kind of good, like, solid, I think, ideas and opinions and knowledge on Christianity and stuff. And then it was just like, I think it's just some of the things she was, teaching weren't really in the course description type thing.
Okay.
Some of the, like, big ideas that she was pushing weren't previously, like, kind of, like, warned. Like, we weren't kind of warned about it.
You felt like it was, like, some bias stuff?
Yeah.
So you, like, actually, you wouldn't talk to her about that, actually?
Yeah, and then she,
Okay.
like, she knew I was a Christian because it was, like, the first day class. This is kind of cringy to actually admit, but literally she was like, okay, everybody go around and, like, say what kind of books you like reading, like, what kind of genre, right? And I'm like, okay, I actually don't read for fun, so, like, what am I going to say?
Yeah.
And then, I kind of do sometimes, but it's not, like, frequent. I'm not like, oh, I have a specific idea in my head, like, whatever. So everyone goes around the room, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to say, like, religion, and then, like, whatever, like, religion books, base books or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, so, like, the Bible? And I'm like, yeah, but, like, other, like, religion books too. So it's just, like, right away in the beginning, she knew I was a Christian. And thankfully there was another girl who said the same thing, but the rest of the people were definitely not on the same page. Yeah. So we'll just.
Well, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Or at least, like, you're like religion books, and then she was like Bible, right?
Well, yeah, because then she that's when she said, she's like, oh, I teach a Bible and lit course, and I was like, oh, cool. So I figured we'd be like best buds, but then she started like pulling out some of this wacky stuff, and I was like, oh boy, I was just left very uncomfortable in that class, and just was not warned that it'd be that way. So. Yeah.
Well, I mean, at least you, right?
Yeah,
showed your faith a bit.
That's the thing. It's like, I had to take probably a lower grade. What I think I took a lower grade than I deserved. But, is it more rewarding to know that you stood up for your faith and you stood up for kind of the truth, and just like the truth that things were a little sketch, and it's kind of more rewarding, I think, to just know that and know that I did that and know that I can do that, and I don't know. So, yeah.
Well, I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Yeah, that was definitely different, but I can kind of relate with you with teachers not failing you, but like grading you kind of unfairly, maybe. But
yeah, I actually had a class. I think you knew this, but I had a class with that teacher last semester that you're talking about, and it was British lit, and we talked about like the Bible a lot.
Yep.
And
okay, how did that go for you?
Well, I tried to be like a good like light in the class because
awesome.
We read like Genesis like 1 through 3
or
cool. Whatever, because like the King James Bible is like Britain or whatever, so we read through that. A lot of people had issues with like talks about like Adam will rule over Eve or like just things like that. And I actually kind of just gave
that's what it says. In Genesis, I just read it not too long ago. It's like anyway, I don't know, like right in the beginning, like everybody I can see how that's very controversial.
Everybody was mad and they were like, this is misogynistic, this is terrible, blah blah blah. And then I kind of gave like the Christian, like the real perspective on how you should look at it. And I was just trying to show people like, hey, like you're mad, but like you really shouldn't be, and so I was trying to just be like a light in the class. And I mean, people definitely probably assumed I was Christian at that point, which was that's fine, but I mean, I've tried to be more open about my faith, especially recently, and I think I had the opportunity, so I took it. And awesome. There was like other times in the class where I think we talked about like the Bible or God and stuff. Every time like the teacher went over like the Bible, everything was like she seemed pretty accurate about it, so I appreciated that. So
that's the thing, is I think she had the knowledge and kind of like she had studied it. She knew what she was kind of teaching, but just don't think she clearly believed it herself, so it's kind of hard, but
so just trying to be a light, even in class.
Huh.
But no, I don't think like I just feel like sometimes like there's some spiritual tension between like maybe students and teachers, and like the teacher may not even know it, right? Because a lot of these people
like if I wouldn't have said anything, she would have had no idea.
Well, a lot of these people don't understand, or they don't believe in like spiritual, like any spiritual evil or spiritual good or anything, so like they're blind to it, and like it's not like I'm like upset with anybody or anything, but it's really not their fault, it's like the world is more spiritual than we tend to think it is. Like everything's pretty much spiritual, like this is just like a physical world, but like underneath the surface is like the spiritual world, you know? So.
That's so crazy to think about.
But
that's good. You
have anything else?
Not that I can think of.
You're done?
Covered worship pretty good, I think.
You're done talking?
But, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, do we have more time? I could talk about track.
We have all the time in the world.
Okay, perfect. Let's see. Yeah, so I mentioned in the beginning that I am in track here at Morris, and so I don't know, I guess I kind of want to talk about my experience with that and just kind of being a Christian athlete too. So when I started my freshman year, it was, I don't know, I kind of always keep kind of a tally of who kind of my Christian buds are, because it's just kind of nice to know, like, when you have other Christians at practice, it's kind of, I don't know, kind of like thinking about that anyway. But so when I started out, it was like Justin, me, Austin was also in track, and who else? I don't think my freshman year there were any other Christians, but then it was like sophomore year. So yeah, anyway, no, freshman year it was just interesting to make that connection with Justin too. Is kind of cool. Just to know that we kind of had that kind of same kind of belief system. And he always, like, when he would come to meets, he'd always bring his Bible and just be like openly reading it in front of the team and stuff, which I thought was kind of cool. Okay, yeah. Cool. And he like there was a meet that he missed for a retreat, which I remember, like, like winter retreat my freshman year. I remember, like, I chose not to go because I wasn't very into it. And he was a leader at the time in IV too. So he was like, oh, I'm going to this retreat.
A winter retreat?
Yeah, it was like a winter retreat.
Wasn't like, I probably went to it.
You probably did.
Yeah, I probably went to it.
Yeah, because I was like, kind of torn, but I was like, well, I'll just go to the track meet, you know?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so I kind of always had that kind of as a memory, I think, just of the balance of being kind of a Christian athlete too. Yeah. And just like things that you are kind of taking on as being a leader of a Christian club, but also, you know, being a leader of a track team too, is you kind of have to, if you're in that position, balance that out too, which is kind of the position I'm in right now, because I applied to be a captain on the track team, got that, so now I'm a captain on the track team, but I'm also a leader in InterVarsity, so they go together a lot, but there are times when there are some conflicts, and it's like kind of hard to pick between kind of what to do too. But anyway, I guess I wanted to talk more too about how fun it was my sophomore year. It was really fun because it was like kind of when a lot of people just kind of started becoming really consistent in IV. So it was like me, Greg, Anthony went too, and there was more like other athletes that weren't throwers that also were Christians, I guess. Cody. Yep. Cody. Trying to think of who I saw at like IV that was like also a Christian. Ooh, it was a jumper. Ellie. Yep. So Ellie was also in track at the time too.
Oh yeah, didn't she like join for a bit?
Yeah, she did like pole vault, I think. So anyway, there was just like kind of a big group, and like people were kind of noticing like, oh, there's a lot of Christians in like track right now, and it's just kind of, it was kind of fun to like kind of bring that kind of energy into, like knowing that we kind of have like a good kind of support system too in track. I don't know. So that's been kind of fun to think about. Yeah, I don't know. Just like, yeah, just being like in track to here and being a leader in IV, and kind of how those can go together, and how I can kind of use track as kind of a platform, I think, for my faith too. I think everyone on the team knows I'm a Christian at this point. It's pretty obvious. I mean, my freshman year, I made it a little bit too obvious by wearing like Jesus shirts every day, and they were probably a little bit overwhelmed by me, but it's fine. It's worth it.
Is that bad to wear Jesus shirts?
No.
I hope you keep wearing them. I hope you didn't stop.
No, I did. I wear IV shirts all the time, but I had some pretty cringy shirts. Let's just leave it at that, okay?
Jesus is cringy?
No.
That's crazy.
It's what the t-shirt makers did.
Like, what did it say?
No, we're not going to get into it.
You don't want to talk about it? We can't talk about Jesus on the podcast? That's wild to me. You better wear them, like, next track practice, like, wear one of them.
Oh, I don't have it anyway. It's a specific one. It's not even that funny. It's just...
You gave it away?
No, I left it at home.
What's that one verse? Like, be unashamed of the gospel?
Okay.
Right?
I'm pretty sure they knew at that point that well, hopefully now too, that I'm not ashamed of the gospel. If they don't know, so.
You better tell them.
Yeah, no, it's fine. But no, it's been kind of fun to use kind of track as a platform too, even though sometimes it's harder than others. But yeah, it's been really fun, and I've been given a couple opportunities to kind of have like a spotlight situation with like the athletic department, and it's been kind of cool to, when they ask me like, oh, you know, tell me your favorite kind of inspiring quote, it's like, well, honestly, nothing else is as inspiring to me as, you know, like what a Bible verse would tell me. And so it's kind of like, oh, I was kind of wrestling with like, do I send them a Bible verse? Are they even going to put that up? Like, I'm like on the main athletic page, like they asked me this like before break in the fall this year. They were like, oh, we're looking for a track athlete to be like a spotlight on the athletic page. And then, yeah, I let my coach know I was interested, and then ended up being able to do that. And I ended up using a Bible verse. I don't remember which one it was, but something about, I think it was along the lines of like using kind of your talents and then also the strength that you've been given from God. But anyway, so I sent them in a Bible verse and they used it. I think
really?
they cut something out. There's like something.
They cut part of it out.
No, wait.
You'd have to show me.
No. And then I think I had to say, like, I had to, like, talk. I, like, had some, like, kind of context around it. And then, I don't know. For the most part, I think it was pretty accurate. And they didn't cut anything out. But, so, yeah, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then another time, once I was announced a captain, on the Instagram page, they were like, oh, send in your favorite inspirational quote. We're going to have, like, a kind of post for you. And then, yeah, I ended up sending in another Bible verse. So, that was cool. But no, yeah, it's a big part. I mean, being a D3 athlete's kind of like, not a huge deal, but also it can be if you are using it as that platform to kind of glorify God with that talent that you've been given too, and just try to, in little ways, encourage others too, and let them know what you're all about, and share verses when you can now and then, and I don't know. So that's been really fun too for me as well, being at Morris. So,
I mean, you're a University of Minnesota athlete. That's kind of major, right? I mean, just tell people, like, yeah, do this for the University of Minnesota.
U of M track athlete,
So, NCAA, right?
Yeah,
NCAA.
It is. I mean, UMAC, so we're kind of at the bottom, but,
Hey, it's still something.
Yeah.
Could you have gone, like, D2 or D1 or...
With my high school marks, absolutely not. In high school, I was actually horrible. Like, it's not even funny.
Oh, you got a lot
I don't know how I got recruited here for tennis.
Oh, okay. So are you like...
Track was kind of a side gig. I got emailed and, like, phone called by the track coach at the time asking me to also commit for track. Mm-hmm. So I did commit for both, but it was more focused on tennis. And track was like, oh, you're pretty decent. We'll take you too.
So are you like a D1 tennis player or like D2? Are you D2? Like,
I don't know. I mean,
you don't know?
I've stopped playing, so at this point,
like,
no, I'm not even.
At your peak, were you like D2?
At my peak?
Or like D1, like low D1. I'm trying to gauge, like, okay, like how good were you?
We'll have Ava let everybody know where she thinks I'm at.
Okay.
Because
all right,
she's a pretty good judge, I'd say. I'd say no, maybe right where I'm at was probably good.
Okay.
But no, track was definitely an experience because I started out like as tennis is my priority, which I told my track coach. I was like, just so you know, like, I'm prioritizing tennis flat out. Like,
yeah,
track's kind of a side thing. And he wrote me in, man. He threw me in the weight room, did things I never thought I was physically capable to do. and yeah, just the training, the drills, everything he had laid out for us, like, pretty much set me up for success. I have literally thrown so much further. I throw 10 feet further in shot than I threw in high school. Okay. Just think about that. I don't know how much you know about shot, but you know what?
I mean, like,
it's pretty.
I know
it's
about
a pretty
shot
big
a
deal.
little bit. Yeah, that is a big deal. Yeah.
And we're not going to talk about disc because I kind of forgot that event. But anyway, I've learned more events. Got pretty good in those. And yesterday I took my first dub in shot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. We had our first meet of the season yesterday.
How far did you throw?
Not right, like 36 feet. Okay. Yeah, no, it wasn't a PR or anything. It was just like a pretty decent throw. Like, it was up there for close to my PR, but it wasn't a PR or anything. And yeah.
I mean, you won. So.
Yeah, that was really, really nerve-wracking. That was really exciting, though. So it's crazy to think about where I started in track and kind of where I am now. It's really exciting for me. So, yeah. That's kind of my road with track. But
next up, the Olympics.
Next up.
Olympic trials.
Let's do it. Like,
from D3 to the world stage. Hey, it's possible.
Yeah. I'm too little for throwing. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of those people are just
I'm not
like,
built enough. I'm too, like, short, first of all. It's not even about, like, body size. It's just that I'm too short. Like, you have to be pretty tall for that stuff and pretty built. And
yeah.
to be honest, that's not really my goal. I'm just trying to do what I
Yeah.
can do with what I got. I'm not trying to go crazy in the gym or anything. So,
Makes sense.
yeah. But it's definitely been fun. So,
Is that it?
yeah, I think so.
I hope the camera didn't turn off.
Me too. Yeah,
That would
that'd
be
be bad.
unfortunate.
That would be unfortunate.
But well, because it died. It actually died yesterday.
Oh, what?
While I was like recording with Lydia, but like it was like at the last part. It
Okay.
was at the last part.
Okay.
I don't think we've talked as long.
Yeah, I
so.
actually have no idea what time it is or like how long we've been doing this for. So.
Well, we can stop there if that sounds good to you.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Well,
Yeah.
Thanks for joining the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Mhm.
Audience, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. That was the Morris InterVarsity Podcast. I'm the host, Joseph, and I'm here with...
Anna Briggs.
And we'll see you next time. Jesus loves you, and have a nice day.